today's powerful message, God's urgent message. Your waiting is over. Get ready for a major shift. We are diving deep into the spiritual truth that your breakthrough is not just coming, it's already at the door. You didn't miss it. You didn't fail. You've passed a secret exam, and God is about to reward you in ways that exceed your imagination. This isn't just motivation, this is revelation. This message is for the chosen, the faithful, the ones who stayed when it was hard and obeyed when it didn't make sense. If that's you, you must stay until the very end. Because somewhere in this word there is a sentence, a whisper from heaven, that's going to confirm everything you've been sensing in your spirit. What felt like an endless pause in your life was, in truth, a sacred process authored by God Himself. The waiting season you endured was not a sign of neglect, punishment, or forgotten prayers. It was the divine classroom where your soul was being shaped for the weight of the glory He's about to place upon your life. In the silence, where answers didn't come and the path felt unclear, God was more present than ever, not speaking loudly, but working deeply. He wasn't ignoring you, He was growing you. What looked like inactivity was divine intentionality. Heaven was never still, it was just hidden. Waiting with God is never wasted time. He uses every moment of stillness to refine the motives, cleanse the heart, and awaken the spirit to recognize His whisper above the world's noise. While others seemed to be moving ahead, you were being anchored. While doors were opening for others, God was building endurance within you. Because what He has prepared for you is not something shallow or fleeting. It's weighty, purposeful, and eternal, and only a deeply rooted soul can carry a deeply significant calling. The waiting was your invitation to dig deeper into the Word, to lean more fully into prayer, and to surrender in ways that prosperity never requires. In your waiting, the Lord stripped away illusions of control. You had to release your timelines, your formulas, your assumptions about what God should do and when, and in that surrender, you didn't lose power, you discovered it. You learned to listen rather than strive, to worship rather than worry, to trust even when the light didn't come. The waiting carved space in your spirit for wisdom, compassion, and discernment that cannot be taught in haste. The world teaches acceleration, but God teaches preparation. And now He declares the process is coming to completion. The wilderness has done its work. You are no longer who you were when this waiting began. Because of the holy work done in the dark, you are now able to step into what's ahead without fear, without doubt, and without delay. You were never on hold, you were on the potter's wheel. And the shape He has formed in you is now ready to hold the outpouring He is about to release. The waiting was never a pause. It was the process of heaven preparing the vessel. Though your external world may have appeared still, your inner life was being quietly fortified by the Spirit of God. What no one else could see, heaven was building in you. Every night you cried in prayer, every morning you chose to believe again, every moment you pressed on when quitting seemed easier, those were not wasted acts of faith. They were bricks laid in the foundation of a stronger, wiser, more resilient spirit. The Lord was not just watching your response to the waiting. He was working within it, reinforcing your soul for the very shift that's now on the horizon. There were lessons only silence could teach you, victories only achieved in hidden places, strength that only came from wrestling with God in private. You were being trained, not for survival, but for stewardship. Your capacity to carry peace, discern truth, and walk in patience has increased, not because circumstances changed, but because God changed you through the circumstances. Where anxiety once ruled, now lives stillness. Where fear once whispered, now echoes faith. You have become someone who no longer reacts to pressure, but listens to the whisper of the Spirit before moving. This quiet strengthening wasn't just about endurance, it was about preparation. Sometimes God answers our prayers not by changing the situation, but by changing us in the middle of it. That's exactly what happened in your waiting. He made you spiritually weightier, more grounded in truth, more attuned to His presence, more immune to distractions that once derailed you. And now, as the shift begins, you won't crumble under the weight of new doors or lose your voice in the noise of opportunity, because you've already learned how to stand strong in the quiet place. You've learned how to hear His voice when no one else is speaking life over you. You've learned how to draw strength not from applause, but from His presence. The strengthening of your spirit was never meant to be visible. It was meant to be powerful. And now the very things you thought disqualified you are the reasons you're ready. God did not forget you. He fortified you. He didn't overlook you. He overshadowed you to preserve what He was building inside you. And the time has come for that strength to rise, not in panic, but in purpose. Because what's ahead won't break you. It will reveal what God has built in you. God's timing is never random. It is sovereign, precise, and sacred. While we live in a world that measures progress by deadlines and milestones, the kingdom operates on divine alignment. The shift you're sensing is not just a coincidence or the result of circumstances falling into place. It is heaven's orchestration of your readiness colliding with divine. And now, that alignment is coming into focus, not based on what's most convenient for you, but on what's most strategic for the glory of God. The Lord does not move on our schedule. He moves when the heart is shaped, the lessons are sealed, and the character is refined. In your waiting, you may have asked, "Why not now, God?" But what you could not see was how He was aligning people, opportunities, relationships, and spiritual authority around you. God never blesses in isolation. His movements affect others, build the body, and advance His kingdom. And for that to happen, everything must move in concert with His will. It is not delay, it is divine choreography. What once felt like stagnation was actually heaven, positioning every detail for maximum impact and eternal purpose. This alignment is not just external, it's internal. God waits until your heart posture reflects surrender, trust, and obedience. He waits until you're more concerned with His name than your own, more focused on serving than shining, more drawn to His presence than platforms. The shift you are about to experience is not only because the world is ready, it's because you are ready. You no longer need what once distracted you. You are no longer driven by what once exhausted you. You have come into alignment with His voice, His timing, and His plan. And now, the moment you've been prepared for is coming swiftly. The doors will open not because you knocked harder, but because you're finally standing where He destined you to be. This is divine alignment. It's God saying, now. Now that your heart can carry it. Now that your faith can sustain it. Now that your identity is rooted in me, not the blessing. Get ready, not for what is easy, but for what is eternal. Because when God aligns the time, the door doesn't creak open. It swings wide, and no one can shut what He has set in motion. The shift that is coming into your life will not announce itself with a trumpet or wait until you feel completely prepared. It will move like the wind, subtle yet powerful, quiet yet undeniable. And just like the wind, you won't always see where it's coming from, but you will feel its force. That's why this next season will require a sharpened sensitivity to the Holy Spirit like never before. You can't afford to hesitate or overanalyze. When God says move, you must move. When He closes a door, you must not knock twice. When He opens one, you must walk through it with trust, not questions. In the waiting, God has trained your ears to hear beyond noise and taught your spirit to discern the quiet urgings that guide your steps. He has been preparing you to live not by sight, but by faith, and now that faith must move quickly. The shift ahead may not look like what you imagined. It may come through unfamiliar voices, uncomfortable changes, or unexpected opportunities. But the spiritually mature will recognize it not by appearance, but by confirmation in their spirit. And if you've walked closely with God in the silence, you will know when He whispers, "This is the way, walk in it." This is not the season to linger in old places or ask for endless confirmations. What you've prayed for is now being released, but it will require a new kind of obedience, instant, bold, and faith-filled. You must trust that if God has brought you to the door, He has also equipped you to walk through it. You won't have time to consult every voice or seek perfect conditions. The wind of the Spirit is blowing, and you must move with it while it moves. Delay in obedience is still disobedience, and hesitation can cost you what heaven has scheduled for now. The rapid shift is not to overwhelm you, but to fulfill God's perfect plan in a suddenly moment. The same God who took His time to prepare you is now accelerating His promise, and though the pace may quicken, your spirit is already ready. The ones who've walked with God in the shadows will now run with Him in the light. Sensitivity to His movement, not comfort in familiarity, will be your compass. What's coming will not be slow, and it will not wait, but you will be ready, because the same God who taught you to be still is now calling you to go. The doors God is opening before you are not ordinary. They are weighty with eternal significance, and they will not just bless you, they will require something deeper from you. This is not just the fulfillment of long-awaited promises, but a call to greater stewardship. When God shifts you into a new level, He also expects a new level of maturity. The blessings that are coming are sacred assignments in disguise, and only those with surrendered hearts will be able to carry them well. This is why your waiting season felt so intense, because He wasn't just preparing your future, He was preparing you to hold it without being crushed by it. You are stepping into a place that will require more discipline in your devotion, more humility in your leadership, and more consistency in your faith. God is not giving you increase just so you can enjoy it. He's entrusting it to you so you can steward it wisely, reflect His character, and extend His kingdom. This next season will not be sustained by charisma or talent, but by character and consecration. Your influence will grow, but so will your need for intimacy with Him. The more He gives you, the more you will need to rely on Him, not less. You must become the kind of person who doesn't just carry the blessing, but protects the holiness of it. This stewardship includes your words, your time, your relationships, and your response to challenges. The enemy would love nothing more than for you to mishandle what God is about to release in your life. But the Lord has already placed within you the wisdom and discernment to know the difference between what is good and what is God. What opens now is not just a doorway into success, it's a test of faithfulness. Can God trust you not just to receive, but to serve? Not just to shine, but to remain anchored? Not just to walk through the door, but to bring others with you? He is elevating you not for comfort, but for calling. And in that calling there will be moments that stretch you, refine you, and remind you that every gift comes with responsibility. But you are not alone. The same God who opened the door is the one who will empower you to walk through it faithfully. He's not just placing the opportunity in your hands, He's placing His trust in your heart. The shift God is bringing into your life is not solely for your personal elevation. It is for kingdom impact. What He's doing in you is part of something far bigger than your own dreams or breakthroughs. You are being positioned as a vessel in the unfolding of His divine plan, a thread woven into the greater tapestry of His redemptive story. When God opens doors and makes sudden moves, it's never just to bless one person. It's to activate a wave of blessing, a chain reaction that touches lives, shifts atmospheres, and brings glory to His name through your obedience. You are not just stepping into a new level of life, you are stepping into a new level of purpose. Your testimony, your voice, your journey through waiting, and your quiet endurance have all been preparing you to serve as a light for others who are still in the dark. There are people connected to your obedience, and they won't see God unless you say yes. Your breakthrough isn't just about what you get, it's about who you will reach. You are not being called to rise so you can sit comfortably. You are being called to rise so you can lead courageously. This is why the Lord was so intentional with your preparation. He was not just making you strong, He was making you selfless. He was teaching you to pray with power, to speak with wisdom, to move with compassion, to love with purity. Because this new door is not about spotlight, it's about service. It's about lifting others, pointing them back to the source, and becoming a bridge for others to encounter God. Your journey through the wilderness has made you relatable. Your hidden prayers have made you authentic. And now your victory will become someone else's hope. You must understand that the shift is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of your impact. God is trusting you not only to walk through the door, but to carry His presence with you into every room. You are being released as a carrier of light, a deliverer of truth, and a builder of the kingdom in the places He sends you. The urgency of this moment is not just personal, it is eternal. God is not just answering your prayers, He is answering the prayers of others through you. You are not just receiving the shift, you are becoming the shift for a generation that's been waiting for it. Beloved, this is not just another season. This is a divine turning point. God is sounding the call in your spirit, declaring that your waiting has not been in vain, and your obedience has not gone unnoticed. Every silent battle, every unseen tear, every moment of perseverance was the hidden exam you didn't even realize you were passing. And now, heaven is announcing that the test is over, and the doors are beginning to swing wide open. Not by chance, but by divine appointment. This shift is not just about movement, it's about transformation. It's about you stepping into the places God prepared for you before the foundation of the world. With a heart that's been refined, a spirit that's been strengthened, and a faith that has been proven. You are not walking into this next chapter as the same person who waited. You are walking in as someone God has personally shaped for what's ahead. The doors opening before you carry responsibility, influence, and glory. And you are ready, not because you feel ready, but because God says you are. The alignment is divine, the timing is perfect, the preparation is complete, and the assignment is holy. Step into this shift with reverence, with boldness, and with joy, because what's coming next isn't just about your blessing, it's about your calling. And the world needs what God has planted in you. Thank you, dear brothers and sisters in Christ, for joining me in this sacred message today. I pray that every word spoken has stirred something deep within your spirit and reminded you of who you are and whose you are. If this word has spoken to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear that God has not forgotten them. Stay rooted in faith, walk boldly in obedience, and prepare your heart for the doors that are about to open. The wait is over, the shift is here, and God is with you every step of the way. God bless you richly.